Love getting pounded. Wait,
Hell
no.
yeah. All right, that's the best time to segue into the least fuckable monster in the monster manual, in
Well,
my
we're gonna have to be extra horny to make up for Iris's absence. Maybe we shouldn't base our monster fucking on shallow things like their appearance.
KatBat, we're at the M's. This is not the time.
We can't be fucking changing the premise now.
Speaking of, disastrous monsters, let's go to the first one. The Mind Flayer. Otherwise known as the Illithid.
The Mind Fucker.
Yeah, they're, not great. Let me put it that way. As monsters go, not great. You know the Gary Gygax Guide to Racism that we love to bring up so much?
Yes.
These are basically the cause of all of it. Anything wrong in the Underdark, it's the Mind Flayer's fault.
So it's like the
There is
Grand
so much
Wizard
wrong in the
of
Underdark.
the Underdark.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's not that incorrect, to be quite honest. The Mind Flayer is pretty fucking bad. I'm stalling for time because I forgot to open the monster manual while doing this, so I've got very little to refer to.
Tentacles, so that's a plus in my book.
Yeah.
Also,
Luke's
hive
told
mind.
already.
You can fuck them all at the same time.
Yeah.
True sapiosexuals, don't mind about that. Responsible for most of the Gary Gygax book of racism. Can we fuck the racism out of them?
I mean, you can try.
Exactly. It's I can fix them.
Yeah.
You cannot fix a mind player.
No, you can't.
I mean, maybe they could fix me instead.
There is a large chunk of the Baldur's Gate community who believe they can fix a Mind Flayer.
Why?
To be fair, he's kinda hot.
Goggles, you're just not throwing it back hard enough. You can fix a Mind Flayer.
I can fix a mind player by decapitating it. I got too much beef with mind flayers in every game I've dealt with mind flayers that I cannot fuck this thing. I can only decapitate it with extreme prejudice.
I'm going to propose something to Luke because I think this is something that particularly Luke likes.
Take me out for dinner first, if you're going to propose.
Shut up. Being fucked mindless.
Yeah, that's a good tag.
Because the Mind Flayer has on its stat block something called Mind Blast. It basically just stuns you, knocks you out for 1 whole minute. And you're like, whoa.
Whoa, dude.
It could be doing that while you're having sex.
I think the important part here is the aftercare if you're fucked mindless.
Exactly. Will they bring me back?
Okay, so the other thing on the stat block is extract brain, where it like takes it out of your head and eats it.
No.
That's
I
getting
mean-
extreme head.
Yeah.
If it's like fucking my brains out, then that works.
Yes, it is.
Everybody likes
It
getting
is.
their brains fucked out.
We love it.
It is going to the true conclusion of that statement, yes.
Exactly. The literal conclusion of getting your brains fucked out.
By the way, there is so much shit on the Mind Flayer. I've not included all of it because I ran out of bullet points.
So we ran out of fucking space.
The monster manual, not a fan.
Well, no, it's a mind flare. It's not a fan.
It doesn't even oscillate.
God damn.
Exactly. I wonder if those tentacles could oscillate. You
Undulate.
could make it into a fan.
I think it would just tie itself in knots, which, hey.
Some people like a good knot.
Yeah.
It would.
Yeah.
Shout out to my furries. So my thought is, if it's gonna fuck me mindless, I'm not gonna know. So like, sure, why not? If I gotta go into a coma, I might as well get fucked into a coma. I'm gonna say
Exactly. Same.
smash.
I'm also saying smash.
There's also...
Oh, wait. No.
Hell
Hit the
yeah.
button.
Come on, Goggles.
Absolute smashing.
No.
Go on,
Change your
Goggles.
mind.
You can fix them. You can fix the mind flare.
I can fix them with decapitation. I cannot fix them any other way.
I mean,
I mean,
it's a
that
way of
gives you
fixing
more
them.
holes.
Exactly.
Are we gelding Mind Flayers by it right now? Because, by the way, I should add, I don't think they've got genitals.
It's fine. If
So you're relying on
if
the
you-
face tentacles.
They have a
alone.
mouth.
Well, you see,
they have hands.
They reproduce via something called ceramorphosis, which is where they take a small, like, little larval sort of caterpillar sort of thing. It's called a tadpole. I should have just used that word. They put it in your eye. It then crawls into your brain and transforms you slowly into a mind flayer. That's how they reproduce.
That's fine.
So if
I've
you
been
do-
fucked mindless. I'm not going to remember.
Exactly. Or if they do that while you're masturbating, you're fucking the mind flare anyway, because you're becoming a mind flare while masturbating. And you're fucking yourself.
I just wanted to say they might not have much kit to play with, you know?
That's fine. They can play with mine instead.
Does not necessarily need to be the eye. It can be any orifice.
Exactly.
It's taking the long journey up from your ass to your brain.
Any
And I
holes
think
and
that's
As
goals?
long a
way.
journey as you'd think.
So about the hive mind thing, there is something called an elder brain. It's a big ass brain. I'm not even kidding. It's just a big ass brain. And they control all of the mind flayers around them kind of like queen of a colony, that sort of thing.
Jeez.
All I heard was ass brain. I mean,
And that's all I'm fixated on, Luke.
exactly, because I like ass and something about brains, maybe.
Also, when they eat a brain, they come. Thanks, Monster Manual.
What?
Even better.
Yeah.
In the last vestiges of my existence, I made a Mind Flayer come.
They feel a sense of euphoria, and then they get coated in a thin glaze of mucus.
Scientifically called jizz.
I don't like this.
It's mind jizz, brain jizz. I've noticed we've got 2 passes. Understandable, but we do have 1 smash.
Wait, did I?
Luke, you're...
Yes.
No, we're smashing.
Yeah.
Goggles is the only anti-smash.
I'm going,
No, sorry, I misread the email. I don't know what I'm doing. It's very
You
clearly
damn
says
fool.
smash. I know. I have maligned your horniness, KatBat. I'm so sorry. I am also a pass on the Mind Flayer because
Coward.
they're just
Coward.
just kind of dickheads, you know?
They are.
I mean, if you're putting your dick in its head, then yeah, it's a dickhead.
I don't want to put anyone near that.
Which is going to be easier if you follow the Goggles route of decapitating him first.
Exactly.
I don't want to put it anywhere near that, all right?
Cowards.
It's not right.
It is. It's just so right.
Shall we move on to the next one, which, I mean, speaking of knots, actually, I don't know if knots applies to this, but we'll assume that there's a knot involved, I think. I mean, some of you might know. People who are involved in this stream regularly will know that we often talk about this subject, and it's one that's, you know, quite close to home. So let's move on to the next one, the Minotaur, because we can't go for 5 fucking minutes without talking about bull semen.
This is the man who kept educating people about bull semen and the cost of it.
Bull semen.
And then,
The
and
fact
then
that one
wonders
of the
why it comes
biggest bull
back.
semen providers is Glock, just the gun manufacturer, kills me, okay? The fact that... Why? Does Colt sell horse semen? Because I hope so.
You just got to cock your Glock, you know?
So
Got a cock, yeah, Glock, I like
here's
it.
something. Do you remember the lasagna issue we had years ago?
What?
Oh!
The Findus one.
Tesco horse meat
God,
scandal.
yes.
Tesco horse meat
Gotcha.
scandal.
Right.
Oh, that's fine.
The white
It's
just
sauce.
horse
What
meat.
do you think it is?
We were talking about fucking a lasagna.
No,
Would you put it past
No.
Luke, though?
maybe. If it's cool enough. Too hot, you burn dick off.
Yeah.
Can't have that.
I like how that's your criteria, and not just
Yeah.
you're sticking your dick in a lasagna.
Luke,
I
are we
mean,
sure you weren't the
it
guy
also-
who fucked that McChicken?
No, I'm not quite sure actually.
What the fuck is happening?
Do you expect better of us?
No.
You invited
I
us
feel
here
like-
for this purpose.
I feel like every single time Nick's like, right, we're gonna do a monster manual smash or pass. Everybody's gonna be wholesome, all really good, and there's gonna be no weird shit every single time. And then it's just like weird shit everywhere.
This is why we have like at least a few months break between times we do this. 'Cause it gives Nick time to recover.
It's because I have to sit down and write like 80 monster descriptions that are all hilarious and unique. I swear.
So we fucking this Minotaur? Nick,
Oh,
tell
yeah.
us about the Minotaur.
Absolutely.
No
absolutely.
question.
Key point here, big strong arms, cuddles, match, done.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'd find
Weirdly
it
wholesome
amazing
from the
and a
fucking
good time.
lasagna, but you know,
You had to dial it back, did you?
I've got to save Nick's sanity here.
Right. Yeah, let me give you some information. We obviously know that Minotaurs famously don't get lost, which is kind of funny when you think of where Minotaurs come from, like the monster in the labyrinth of Minos in Greece. What, first of all, wasn't a bull. Initially, it was just a fucked up looking guy. He was the son of the king of Minos. Famously never got out of that maze.
Yep.
Right, the labyrinth worked. And yet D&D Minotaurs are like, I never get lost. Never. Absolutely not.
We don't talk about that one time everybody got lost.
As I say, even in the largest of Ikeas, they will get out of there. So you could go for a Swedish meatball date. I think that would be fine. You'll make it out in a respectable 30 to 40 minutes.
And you'll have someone who's able to carry all the furniture back.
Yeah,
They can carry so much flatback furniture.
They can also carry me.
they have powerful frames.
But why would you leave IKEA when you can just get fucked and have the meatballs? Just stay. It's our IKEA now.
Well, the problem is with IKEA is the toilets don't work and they get angry if you use them. Personally, I think maybe they shouldn't have conned me with those toilets.
There's got to be a working toilet somewhere in IKEA.
Well, I've never found it.
Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
Is.
It very quickly became a me problem, yeah. So yeah, these wander around labyrinths. They like to make lairs in labyrinths because they can find their way around and their prey can't. It's a little like a spider's web. The thing about them starting in some weird compound in Oregon, they're descendants of humanoids who transformed by cultish rituals that rejected the oppression of authority by returning to nature. Essentially started as like druids and that sort of thing. And then they would hunt, kill, and eat wild beasts, usually eating the hearts raw and that sort of thing, which you see a lot of in America. But eventually they moved on to killing and eating other humanoids and cannibalism. And they would do that in these labyrinths that they would unleash a person in and hunt them in. The demon lord Baphomet, the Horned King, saw this and laughed and transformed them into the Minotaur.
So what I'm hearing is he's got a healthy appetite. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Got a healthy appetite for meat, Smash.
It's like demon lords create a lot of demons, right? These are not demons. These are monstrosities, which makes a unique difference. Demons cannot breed with each other, with anyone else, all right? They can fuck, but nothing will happen. Minotaurs are a full-on species. So Minotaurs do not have to all serve the Horned King. You know, they can go off, start a little labyrinth somewhere with a couple of other Minotaurs and, you know, grow in size to hundreds or thousands, you know, make a big labyrinthine city with their own culture and all that. They're not stuck, subjugated to the demon lord, which many demons are stuck. A bit more independent.
Cultural exchange. I too am a monstrosity. Let's go.
Very big, very sexy. I think we got smash across the board. I think Iris would smash this as well. I think it's a spiritual 4-way smash on this Minotaur. And I will include myself in that. Yeah. We're getting a 5 across the board, this one. All-round smash.
And the Iris.
Then again, I feel like Iris would also point, it would just be like, this is just a guy.
I don't know. It's a little... Yeah, all right. Probably.
The cloven hooves might be enough. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, we'll have to ask.
For the next one, I posted in Discord recently. I said, guess the monster. And I posted the sentence, sad twink / failed trumpet vibes. It's this monster.
It's me.
Welcome in one of my favorite little guys, the Monodrone. It's just a sad little guy.
It's literally steampunk Mike Wazowski.
It is!
It is steampunk Mike Wazowski. You're absolutely right. There might be a joke about that later. Yeah, so these are the lowest tier of Monodrone. A Monodrone is a computer of sorts. They are semi-sentient. It's a little weird. Basically, this one is a hardness test failure. The others are not. As you go up in the tiers, in the ranks of Monodrone, because they're very heavily regimented, because they are essentially computer programs, as you go up in the ranks, you get more and more intelligence. So once you get to the second one, which we've seen before, actually, it was the Duodrone, which was that sort of weird square one. You get sentience there, but these ones are not. They can speak up to 48 words.
So it's a Furby.
And perform one task at a time.
But they're single-threaded as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Single-core CPU.
When a Duodrone dies, a Monodrone is promoted to a Duodrone. So their body changes and they become
Sentient.
They become the higher form, and it goes on like that. The Monodrones all serve the god of law and order. Mechanus.
Wow, what a bunch of losers.
I just think that
I can't fuck steampunk Mike Wazowski. I'm sorry. I can't.
Wow. Look how sad you've made steampunk Mike Wazowski.
Good.
If they didn't work for cops, I could.
You've made him so sad.
You know what?
Yeah.
There's basically 3 sets of handlebars here. There's like wings, arms, legs. You know what? Smash. Smash.
Yeah.
No, I have a worse thing to call it. Steampunk Wheatley.
Steampunk Wheatley, that's correct. Yeah, they're that smart. After a while, over time, they will sometimes become defective, either through natural decay or exposure to chaos, and they can become rogue Monodrones.
Nice.
And break laws and disobey orders and things like that, and start getting a mind of their own.
I can also fix it.
Yeah. I'm a smash. This is one of my rare hardness test failures that I would. It can use one of its 48 words to consent.
Rude.
And to be honest, I'm not sure I can speak more than 48 words before I need a soft reset.
You've definitely done that today, in the last half an hour.
Lies.
As to house smash, there's a mouth there. What?
Yeah. There's a very sad-looking mouth there.
There's also 4
Yeah,
little
I'll
buttons you
play
can push
consent.
on top.
I'd go for the wing job. I'm a wing job boy.
I'll turn that around upside down.
Sharp.
Yeah, you're not gonna have a dick left after that.
Also, this thing probably has an asshole, right?
There you go.
There's probably someone back there. We can't see it.
Exactly. That's why he's
Are we
sad. He's
sure?
constipated.
Oh my god, I've just realized what this expression is. Please, mom, may I have a crumb of pussy?
Out.
It's permanently doing that, like, begging emoji thing.
No,
Please, mummy.
it's permanently on the bottom emoji.
Yeah, the bottom
Please, mummy, can I
emoji.
have a crumb of pussy?
Yeah,
I fucking hate it, Luke.
it's doing this.
I'm displeased.
How do we feel about a sevensome?
Why is there 7 of them?
Just you boning down with 6 other little freaks. There's 6 of these fuckers, and there was no way I was making 6 separate pages for them because they're all the same flavor of little
I
freak.
mean, I passed on 1. I'm gonna pass on 6.
No, this is a segue into the next monster.
Fuck you.
Okay.
Let's go on to the shitheads. You're getting a feeling that I don't like these things already. I love them, by the way, as a DM. I use one of these. They're really low level against the Guild of Icons. I think the Guild of Icons was like level 8 at the time, which is pretty powerful in D&D standards. I used about 4 of them and they were like, we got to get out of here. It was one of the very few combats they ran away from.
Nice.
Oh, optimistic for fucking them.
Over to the Mephits. They're just
No.
awful.
Right, so that's kind
Very
of
Mr. Burns coded.
They are.
Yeah, that does
they
look
are
like Mr.
so.
Burns.
They are so Mr. Burns coded. Yeah, Mephits are little sort of elemental things. Each one is a combination of 2 elements. So you have the mud Mephit, the smoke Mephit, the dust Mephit, the magma Mephit, and the ice Mephit.
apparently I have 2 jizz Mephits over here.
The 2 jizz Mephits. They're just bad. Oh, and steam Mephit. Sorry, I missed one. Steam and Mephit. They're just deeply unpleasant creatures. But I'm going to try to sell you on them. I got nothing.
I love the pause.
What that beak do though?
The mud Mephit has mud breath.
No,
Does that help?
I'm not for these, I don't think.
Who wants some mud breath?
I'm good. I'm good. I would like to not.
They're capricious imp-like creatures, and it's like,
I'm sorry. As well as their appearance, the fact you wrote "it's just a prank, bro" as one of the points is just immediately off-putting.
they like doing that. They're tricksters.
There's that. It's also big complainers as well. It's like you fucking them. It's like, are you in yet? Damn, this is so shit.
Here's the thing. I would go to a spa run by these elemental fuck weasels, but I wouldn't fuck any of them.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna say pass.
Yeah, the steam Mephit probably runs a real nice spa. You make a good point, and the mud Mephit will do the mud like baths and that sort of thing. The magma Mephit is probably doing like some like sauna thing going on with the steam Mephit.
Hot coals. Or...
Yeah. Not sure. Oh, sand baths if you're a hamster.
And the ash one is probably some kind of like mask that peels your skin and exfoliates, you know?
Oh, yeah. These all work for some reason.
Not monster
What I would
manual
do, Luke,
business
is I would go
decisions.
to these people to get ready to
Exactly.
fuck a better monster.
The cosmetics
So-
elemental.
Yeah.
Now you mention it, like getting covered by the mud elemental or the mud Mephit, it's like, I'm coming round
I
to
probably
it.
sold Nick on
I'm
this.
coming round to
I
it.
think I probably just need a bath afterwards, to be honest.
I mean, Luke,
I'm
you're probably gonna need a
I'm
bath
passing.
after any of them, I would hope.
I mean, that is true.
They're big.
Also, I don't want to get sand in my dick.
I wouldn't with the steam. I wouldn't with the magma.
Coward.
But the ice, maybe, you know, ice cubes and all that could be neat. The mud one, yeah.
Just be careful where you put those ice cubes, Nick. You can get frostbite.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You have to play safe with ice.
The sand one is going to be deeply unpleasant. I don't think anyone should have sex on beaches.
It's a bad
just
idea.
a bad thing waiting to happen. Just awful. That is probably what the dust method is going to be like.
It's sandblasted in your ass. It's fine.
It's better than I expected. 3 passes, and I'm a reluctant smash. Reluctant's not the right word. I'm a, as if it's my duty. Tentative. Tentative is the word I'm looking for. I'm a tentative smash.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, the Mephit. I'm here to fuck this guy. We're gonna spend 24 hours ruining this man.
Ew, I hate it.
The magma method definitely got cancelled after filming himself at a forest in Japan or something.
Oh,
The last
Christ.
person to leave our fuck fest will get $5 million.
Oh no!
Ew,
Oh
ew,
no!
Ew.
Actually, KatBat, these are elementals, not beasts.
Oh, pardon me.
All right, let's go on to something a bit more palatable. Who here wants a hot mum? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah?
We need a palate cleanser.
Yeah? Hell yeah, the mummy.
I don't think this is the
Hot.
cleanser I
Hot.
requested.
Hot. Luke gets it.
Especially if you set it
Dry.
on fire.
We love a mummy here. Who here loves Brendan Fraser?
I was about to say Imhotep, yes.
This is an Axima-moon.
Your average mummy,
An Axima-moon.
Imhotep's right there.
An Axima-moon?
Imhotep is right there.
No, that's an Axima-moon, as I keep saying. Imhotep is right behind you.
I'll get the cat.
I can't have sex with Imhotep because he's terrified of my pussy.
I was thinking it. I didn't say it, but I was thinking it. 10 out of 10.
There are precisely two types of mummy in the Monster Manual. It's kind of wild, the variation. Like, there's no in between. There's challenge rating 3 for something you can put down pretty easy, or challenge rating 15 for something that will just murder you. There's no middle ground.
Nice.
Mummies are pretty neat. I think they're underused a little bit in D&D, honestly. I haven't seen one used in a while, but they're pretty cool. These are created by death gods and death priests and that sort of thing. They'll rise up when something interrupts a burial ritual or commits a transgression against a buried tomb or treasure or that sort of thing. Reading from the Book of the Dead.
No harm ever came from reading a book.
So essentially, they get turned on at naughty stuff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is just run-of-the-mill necrophilia, so I think I might have to pass.
That is fair. They also can curse you, though. They can actually give you a mummy's curse.
Does it?
It causes you to rot until you die.
Oh, I thought it was going to be the mummy's curse of giving you massive mummy milkers.
That's it. It's
Already
the
got
milking
those.
curse. Yeah. They can also paralyze you with their scary eyes, with their special eyes.
Okay, so my opinion is if I have the decaying curse, then they're a smash, but otherwise they're a pass.
Also, you can't really go on a date.
Yeah.
Well, like, you can't go on like a restaurant date. You go like bowling or something. I think that would go fine, unless
Oh, that's really risking an arm.
unless the wraps get caught up in the ball cleaner thing. Yeah, that might be a problem. Any food sours and spoils, and wine turns to vinegar.
No.
No,
I'm
Okay,
100% out of
pass,
that point.
pass.
Within about a mile.
Pass.
I'm too food
Nope.
motivated.
I need my food good. They can fuck
I'm
right up.
also food motivated.
Fuck that.
But consider you take them to like the Christmas market and just have a laugh. Eat first before you meet up, and then go to the Christmas market, and it's just everyone's having a real rough
I
mode.
can't be doing that.
Or Easter, he is risen.
Oh,
Yes, they're pretty hot. I'm a smash. Wow, none of you are.
no.
No.
We're too food
Wow.
motivated. We just went over this.
It's food.
Wow.
I love the food.
Wow.
They'd have to pay me back for like whatever they ruined in my fridge.
I can't believe that none of you are horny for it.
But it's not. This is clearly the D&D one. I'm like, no.
It's not that different. Okay, a little bit. It can make a plague of insects, just like Imhotep.
But either give me the skeleton or give me the flesh. Do not give me decaying flesh on the skeleton.
Fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
either need bone or I need meat. I can't have this in between nonsense.
One or the other.
I do not sign up for jerky.
I did.
One question I want to know.
Hey, baby, need some jerky.
What's that pussy going to taste like?
Dust.
Rotten flesh.
What is that cum going to taste like?
Also dust.
Well, no, because all food molders and water instantly evaporates and wine turns to vinegar. What does it do to cum?
Cum can be food.
What does it do to the pussy juices?
Also,
Is this thing going to squirt vinegar?
Oh, Nick, do I have to educate you about bacterial vaginosis?
Oh.
Well, no, I mean, it's changing all liquids, right?
Yeah.
All consumable liquids. So what's it going to do to it? Is it going to be vinegar?
I mean, you've already got rancid meat.
Because if so, fish and chips.
No.
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 We don't like that one? Okay, we don't like that one. All right. We'll put it back in the Mind Palace.
Here's what I want you to do after this stream, Nick. I
I want you to die.
want you to take a pork chop and I want you to leave it out for a week.
Okay.
And then whatever drips off that pork chop, That's what's coming out of it. That's what you're fucking. That's what you're tasting.
Okay.
Enjoy all of the diseases.
Okay, fair enough.
Finally, somebody's going to try and recreate the sarcophagus juice.
All the more for me, you cowards.
Good fucking luck to you, man.
All right, this one I think is going to be a little bit more widely liked. First of all, we're looking at a rare, good, aligned creature from the Underdark. We're looking at someone who genuinely is a pacifist, which is rare in D&D monster manuals. We are looking at absolutely massive mushrooms, the Myconids.
Hey, baby, want to get rare in my Underdark?
They're kind of cool.
They are neat.
Got to be careful. It depends. If you're an exhibitionist, anything involving pain, and we don't know the limits of this because it has not yet been tested in fiction as far as I know, but it may be like even as mild as spanking or something like that, it will automatically emit spores that alerts every Myconid within like a mile. As soon as it feels
That's
pain.
fine. I can take more than one.
Well, that's the thing. It depends how private you want it, you know?
Yeah, give me a Myconid gangbang. I'm here for it. Let's go.
Imagine not being into any like public displays of affection or anything like that, but also being into spanking as a Myconid. You're like, shit, I need to go like 10 miles away from home so that I can do anything, or all the neighbors are gonna know.
Otherwise, they're alerting their parents that they're getting spanked.
Exactly. Genuine, all-round nice people. The Myconids, they live, as I say, in the Underdark, quite rarely in circles and melds, which are sort of colonies, which each has a sovereign, which is just usually the largest one.
Hell yeah.
If you attack it, it can release pacifying spores so that it doesn't have to kill you. It just sort of stuns you a bit and then it walks off. They really do not like violence at all.
Violent sex is out the window. That's fine. I'm a good guy. And I can switch up whatever I want. It's great.
Luke, we're going to have to come back to this definition of you as a good guy. I don't think we can really just assume that based on things you've said before.
True. I will
think
say,
you said in the last
I am a
45
bit
minutes.
of a fun guy though. Also, so many holes.
An interesting thing about the Myconids is that their presence could turn what would previously be a hardness test failure into a hardness test pass.
Nice.
They have something called rapport spores. In a 20-foot radius around them, creatures with an intelligence of 2 or higher can communicate telepathically with one another. So ones that previously had no languages or methods of communicating, and therefore, would fail the hardness test, would suddenly gain an ability to communicate.
Okay.
That's nice.
And then they can talk about how bad we all are.
That
You just have them sit on the cuck chair and...
So does that mean we're just going to be more communicative at the like public orgy or new friends?
There have been some that we've rejected as hardness test failures that are only hardness test failures. They're intelligent, but they have no way of communicating. One of the important facets of the hardness test is you've got to be able to communicate because you've got to be able to meaningfully consent. The presence of a Myconid changes that equation.
I mean, it's already a smash for me. So, like, if it wants to bring friends, cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're great. They're a force multiplier for horniness,
Also, communication is good in sex anyway.
We love it.
Just communicate. Then you know what each other want.
Also, really good thing about the rapport spores is it's telepathic, so you can now communicate with your mouth full.
That's useful.
Nice.
Yeah, it's helpful.
Well, if I've got like a mouthful of spores or something.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, don't eat them.
I mean, but what if they want to
Oh, so you
eat?
have to spit out.
Yeah.
You can't swallow with these guys.
Just spit.
Also, they can control how much they reproduce, so that's neat. They reproduce by sporing. No one's getting pregnant, but they can control how often and when they do that.
Okay.
They also can make hallucination spores that induce a shared dream amongst people, which they use for entertainment and social interaction.
And sex?
Well, they could. That's entertainment, right?
Interesting.
That explains the chemsex bit.
If you're not entertained by sex, what are you doing?
A job.
You got to unleash your type 5 at the start.
Just reading a book,
And
being
if
like,
you
yeah, I guess
stand
we're
up
fucking.
yelling, "Are you not entertained?"
Yes.
Bring out the microphone, tap it, and go, "Hello, is this thing on?" That's how Mike Wazowski has sex, I'm sure. The Billy Crystal method.
Oh, I hate it.
Oh,
I don't hate the Myconids, but I hate things you're saying, Nick.
Hey, babe, can you go slower? I'm trying to fill up my spreadsheet.
I think it's a smash all around.
Yeah. They're fun
Any fun
guys.
guys?
Yeah, I'm here for it.
They're a rare Underdark good guy, and I kind of like it.
They're just fun guys.
They're just fun guys.
Remember, if you like comedy videos, be sure to visit twitch.tv/His Cursedness, where Nick, aka His Cursedness, Streams multiple times a week, sometimes with friends.